Good evening and welcome to Newsline tonight. I am Claire Chukwudinaka Dilabu Abdulrazak. How has your weekend been? Well, tonight we will bring you stories that are not just news, they are moments of inspiration. I'm talking about stories that will engage your mind and touch your heart. Some will entertain, while others will ignite your imagination. And if the tale of Lisa Bia Akala's festival doesn't stir your spirit tonight, then brace yourself for Barikan Bida, a festival where history gallops on the horseback and the drums echo the timeless language of the new pace. On Newsline tonight, there's always something to leave you thinking, reflecting, and inspired. But first of all, let's catch up with the news from Ogo Chukwuka Ona. Hello, Ogo.
Hello, Captain Claire. Thank you for joining us and good evening. President Bola Tinubu's vision of transforming Nigeria into a better, vibrant country in no distant future is a reality. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this when he received a delegation from Big Win Philanthropy led by its Chief Executive Officer, Jami Cooper, on a courtesy visit to the presidential villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
And honestly, Nigeria is not a nation of scarcity. We are a nation defined by potential.
This project, Vice President Kashim Shettima said, is premised on the robust investments by the Renewed Hope administration in healthcare, education, and other critical sectors of the economy.
We are blessed with abundant natural resources, but our greatest wealth lies in our people.
Welcoming the Big Win Philanthropy's pledge to work with this administration, saying the government is ready to explore the foundation's wealth of experience as it intersects with the Renewed Hope agenda.
We have launched the Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative, which I believe you must have discussed with Professor Party. But the Nutrition 774 initiative is our baby. It's the boldest initiative in the contemporary history of this country. We are going to deploy nutrition officers to all the 774 local councils across the length and breadth of this country. Our goal is simple: to ensure that no community is left behind. And it's saddening. I want us to drive that process. I don't want to use the word I. We are going to drive that process. And we have the technical competence, and most importantly, the commitment of people on ground, and we are bringing services closer to the people at the grassroots.
The CEO, Big Win Philanthropy, acknowledged the role of the Vice President in nutrition, emphasizing the need for collaboration.
We're in Nigeria because these ministers represent that creme de la creme of people and individuals that are really driven to bring better outcomes to their people and have very clear agendas and visions for where they intend this country to go.
The organization is working with relevant stakeholders to create over 2 million jobs in Nigeria and also working on malnutrition, local production of vaccines and drugs. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And still staying with the Vice President Kashim Shettima, who is calling for increased private sector participation in the ongoing health sector reforms. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila again reports that this was during the inauguration of Sulaiman Adebola Adewunwa Trauma Center in Shagamu, Ogun State, saying the health facility is a vital addition to the nation's emergency care infrastructure and a symbol of the government's dedication to saving lives. He lauds the initiative, urging more philanthropists and corporate organizations to rise beyond personal achievements and invest in nation building.
We must not forget that in a nation facing rising urbanization, motorization, and industrial risk, trauma center is no longer optional. It is essential. This is why this center is not just a brick and mortar institution, It is a lifeline. It is a symbol of preparedness in a nation that cares. It is a sanctuary where the wounded can find healing and where families in despair can find hope.
The establishment of this trauma center marks a significant milestone in the quest to strengthen Ogun State's medical infrastructure. It will greatly complement our ongoing efforts to reposition the health sector towards enhancing the wellness and well-being of our citizens, especially in trying times of global economic challenges.
It is my sincere hope that this center will serve as a sanctuary of healing and recovery for individuals facing life-threatening injuries and sudden medical emergencies.
The facility, built by the Suleiman Adebola Adegunwa Foundation within the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, aligns with the federal government's health sector renewal investment initiative aimed at overhauling Nigeria's healthcare delivery system. The trauma center is designed to provide emergency medical care, management of trauma-related cases, and significantly enhance the hospital's capacity to deliver quality healthcare services to the people. The Nigeria Data Protection Commission and DPC has reaffirmed commitment to strengthening the data ecosystem in the country as one of the pillars of attaining the $1 trillion digital economy target of President Bola Tinubu's administration. This follows the recent appointment of Vincent Olatunji, the National Commissioner on Nigeria Data Protection Commission, as chairman of the Anglophone Countries Committee of the Network of Africa Data Protection Authorities, NADPA. NADPA is a multilateral platform for promoting data privacy and protection among member states on the continent. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has reaffirmed the NAF's strong commitment to deepening strategic partnerships with friendly nations as well as key players in the aerospace and defense sectors, saying it is part of efforts to transform the Nigeria Air Force into a more resilient and agile force capable of addressing Nigeria's evolving security challenges. A statement by the Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehime Jodame, indicates that this was during a visit to Brazil to participate in the Latin American Airspace Defense Security Fair held in Rio de Janeiro. Air Marshal Abubakar held high-level meetings and discussions centered on enhancing the operational and technical capacity of the NAF, particularly in sustaining the A-29 Super Tucano aircraft fleet and other platforms in its inventory. The engagements also focused on fostering collaboration in pilot, technical and logistics training, as well as research and development initiatives. The Air Chief's visit to Brazil forms part of a broader effort to deepen global partnerships in line with the NAF's 2025 strategic objectives, which prioritize enhanced operational readiness, force modernization, and international collaboration. Now, the federal government is committed to ensuring that all infrastructural facilities that are currently under rehabilitation or construction meet required standards. Minister of Works David Umahi gave this assurance as he monitored below-deck repairs of Lagos bridges. Larry Belay reports.
Below the deck of Eko, Third Mainland, Carter, and the reopened Independence bridges, 454 pickups and 854 piers have been penciled down for repairs by the Ministry of Works. Out of the 454 pickups, 147 and 556 piers have been completed. During the inspection, the Minister of Works expressed disappointment with the incident that involved a dredging ship that wrecked a pickup, a development he described as unacceptable, especially when the federal government had directed the stoppage of dredging in the sea in areas very close to the bridge all over the Federation.
What the pickup and the piles are to the bridges are what the legs are. And I went, to the smaller boat to monitor the level of damages below the water, occasioned by this dredger that hit this. And I was, very shocked. A whole one pie was totally removed. And what is holding that particular section is only the rods.
David Umahi used the opportunity to call on relevant authorities at both state and federal levels to halt movement of boats and ships around the axis until comprehensive work under the deck is completed. In Lagos, Lanre Peleyi, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu promises that the gunmen who killed many people in communities in Plateau State will be apprehended to face severe punishment under the law. In a statement through his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president extends his condolences to the families of the victims in Ruwi and Tedai communities in Bokos local governments and those from Manguna and Dafo villages where the gunmen launched brutal attacks resulting in the loss of lives and the destruction of properties. Assuring the government of Plateau State and Governor Caleb Muftuang of the federal government's support in ending insecurity on the plateau, he urges affected communities to volunteer information to apprehend the perpetrators and secure their communities. The president also directs the National Emergency Management Agency to work with state authorities to provide necessary support to the victims and bring immediate relief to the affected communities. And in the meantime, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, is urging the people of Plateau State to coexist peacefully for meaningful development. This was while addressing newsmen in Jos on the recent attacks in Bokos local government area. Ndeyang Andiaba Gyang has the report.
The recent attacks in Bokos by some suspected hoodlums led to the death of some residents. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu was in Jos to commiserate with government and people of the state over the incident. He urged security agencies to sustain efforts in securing lives and property of citizens.
Nigeria will continue to be grateful to the members of the armed forces and the security services. We are going through tough times, difficult times, but it's not going to be forever. The issue of security is for all of us. All of us will have to come together. Everybody do have a role to play, particularly communities, those who have been living together for years and decades. I think time has come for us to say enough is enough.
The National Security Advisor also expressed concern over media reports on the attacks.
We'll also appeal to the media to always verify and report appropriate, correct situations and what happens. Telling the truth helps for us to go through this difficult period. It helps for us to heal. It helps for us to get back on track and live in peace.
He appealed to the people to continue to coexist peacefully for meaningful development. In Jos, Ndenyan and Diabajang, NTA News.
Former governor of Old Oyo State, Chief Omololu Olunloyo, has passed on just shy of his 90th birthday. The elder statesman, who was also Balogun of Oyo and Otun, Bobashewa of Ife, died in the early hours of Sunday. His death was confirmed in a statement signed by former editor of the Nigerian Tribune, Oladapo Ogunwusi. And our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu conveys his deepest condolences to the government and people of Oyo State following the passing of Dr. Victor Omololu Olunloyo, former governor of Old Oyo State. President Tinubu, on behalf of the federal government, extends sympathies to the Olunloyo family and all who knew and respected the late leader and elder statesman and scholar. Reflecting on Dr. Olunloyo's tenure as governor of the Old Oyo State, President Tinubu says although his time in office was brief, his tenure was marked by exceptional vision and leadership. The abrupt end to his administration due to military intervention did not deter him from continuing to serve the nation. Dr. Olunloyo, renowned for his mathematical prowess, obtained a PhD in applied mathematics and number theory from St. Andrews University in Scotland at 25. In 1962, at just 27, he became a commissioner in the Old Western region. He served multiple times as commissioner in the Western State, which succeeded the Western region. He was also founding rector of the Polytechnic Ibadan and Kwara State Polytechnic, enduring academic and administrative foundations in 2 institutions, praying the Almighty to grant him rest. President Bola Tinubu has described the throne of the Alaafin of Oyo as a symbol of peace, cultural and enduring legacies of one of Africa's most powerful empires. This was in a message to the coronation of the 46th Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Abimbola Akim Owade Elewetu, the first in Oyo town, Oyo State. KG Busari Ahmad was there.
In a message to the coronation of the monarch delivered by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said the new traditional ruler couldn't have been installed at a better time.
Oyo State remains a priority in our renewed agenda.
Presenting the new Alaafin, the state governor, Seyi Makinde, advised the sons and daughters of Oyo to desist from any form of litigation as it debars developmental growth. The Awishe Agbaye, a former vice-chancellor of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, Professor Wande Abimbola, who was part of the Ifa divination that brought about the choice of the new king, speaks on the need to de-emphasize on financial gains in the matters of choosing the Alaafin of Oyo, as it will always backfire. The new Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Abimbola Akim Owade, is being installed after the demise of Oba Lamidi Olaiwola Atada at Deyeme III on the 22nd of April 2022, after almost 53 years on the throne. From the ancient town of Oyo, KG Busari Ahmed, NTA News.
The Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology is poised to equip young Nigerians with relevant and innovative skills to drive growth in the maritime sector of the country. Provost of the college reiterated federal government's commitment to repositioning the institution when 900 students took the oath at its 39th matriculation ceremony in Lagos. Diana Ajali reports.
Marine technology, a broad field that includes various disciplines, is crucial for economic growth by enabling efficient global trade. The Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology is therefore providing an enabling environment while offering requisite knowledge for the actualization of the aspiration of young Nigerians in this sector. Beyond the structural realignment, which is part of the ongoing transformation, the matriculant of these young men and women present great opportunities for them to acquire the needed skills to thrive in their academic endeavors.
I'm going to try my best to attain a perfect grade.
I had interest in what I was doing and it led to me getting there. But now the scholarship being the cherry on top means that I'm very happy.
Coming at a time when the institution has transitioned into the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Provost of the college, Dr. Paul Chuks Onwaha, assured the matriculating students of the best academic and professional grooming for excellence in a highly competitive maritime and fishery sectors of the economy.
In terms of driving the marine and the blue economy initiative of Mr. President and their support, currently the college has acquired the state-of-the-art technology equipments. One of it is the full mission bridge simulator, which we help you use virtual reality tools to teach the seafarers how to carry out search and rescue, how to carry out fishing techniques while on board. When they get to them, they'll be more confident and they'll be able to compete with their peers globally.
Other stakeholders advise the students to take advantage of the opportunity provided by the college to expand the maritime subsector and be good ambassadors.
That we contribute not just to your personal success, but also to development of our nation's marine and fisheries industry.
Since 1969, the Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology has provided excellent services, raising great men and women in the field of marine engineering, nautical science, and other related courses. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is rejoicing with the former First Lady of Lagos State, Dame Emanuela Abimbola Fashola, on her 60th birthday. In her message, the First Lady says the impact of Dame Fashola in creating awareness, empowerment and sensitization on children and women are commendable, especially through her charity, leadership, empowerment and resource network. She describes her contributions to the people of Lagos, especially during her leadership of the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials, including the inauguration of recreation centers and support for the screening and treatment of women with breast and cervical cancers, as worthy of note. The First Lady praised that Dame Fashola will celebrate many more years in divine health, joy, peace and prosperity. NDLEA foils cocaine smuggling attempt at Lagos Airport, arrests 2 brothers with 5 kg of cocaine concealed in suitcase walls while bound for India. 20 years old arrested with 36 parcels of loud, a strong strain of cannabis weighing 19.40 kilograms packed in a giant traveling bag. Details and more in the weekly roundup of NDLEA activities.
In Murtala Muhammad International Airport, 2 brothers were arrested with 5 kilograms of cocaine concealed in their suitcases while attempting to board a flight to India. A 20-year-old British Ghanaian tech student was also intercepted with 19.4 kilograms of loud, a strong strain of cannabis which he claimed to have picked up in Bangkok. In other operations, the NDLEA arrested a 33-year-old woman with 3 kilograms of methamphetamine in Kogi State, a 75-year-old man with 1.6 kilograms of skunk in Abia State, and another suspect with 2,050 ampules of pentazocine in Aba. The agency also seized large quantities of codeine syrup and tramadol in Yobe and Anambra states. The NDLEA also continued its war against drug abuse sensitization activity, WADA, conducting enlightenment lectures in schools, worship centers, and communities across the country. NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa commended the officers and men of various commands for their operational successes and balanced approach to drug supply reduction and demand reduction efforts.
Now, the Nigeria Police Force has withdrawn its earlier invitation to Muhammad Sanusi II over the disruption of public order during the Salah celebration in Kano on March 30, 2025. A statement from the force noted that the invitation was initially meant to allow Muhammad Sanusi II to provide his accounts of the events. However, following consultations with key stakeholders and to avoid potential political misinterpretation, the Inspector General of Police has now directed operatives of the Force Intelligence Department to travel to Kano and obtain a statement instead. Meanwhile, the IGP has reaffirmed the Nigeria Police Force's commitment to a thorough and professional investigation. Some arrests have already been made, and all individuals found culpable will be prosecuted in accordance with the law and the principles of justice and neutrality. And also, the Nigeria Police Force has expressed concern over reports that a group known as the Take It Back movement is planning a nationwide protest on Monday, April 7, 2025, coinciding with National Police Day. While the NPF affirms its respect for the constitutional rights of citizens to peaceful assembly and expression, it views the timing of the protest as questionable and perceived as an attempt to undermine the event and tarnish the image of the Nigeria police and the nation. The force urges the organizers to reconsider the planned protest. It advises all parties involved to explore lawful and constructive avenues of dialogue through the appropriate channels of government, rather than engage in actions that may disrupt national unity and celebration. The Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, expresses regrets over the tragic death of 17 road traffic crash victims, including one of the emergency rescue operatives of the Corps who was deployed to carry out rescue operation at the scene of the crash in Bara area of Ogun State. The Corps Marshal urges motorists to make vehicle maintenance a priority and adhere to speed limits so as to prevent reoccurrence of such tragedies in the future. The fatal multiple crash was said to have occurred as a result of excessive speed and brake failure. The Corps Marshal vows that the driver responsible for the carnage will definitely be prosecuted as part of ongoing efforts of the Corps to ensure that all drivers involved in fatal crash face the wrath of the law. And now from the global scene, Turkey's main opposition party, CHP, holds an extraordinary congress to elect a party leader, and Pope Francis makes a surprise public appearance at the Vatican. Frama Pani reports.
Turkey's main opposition party's extraordinary congress on Sunday is to re-elect its leader, Özgür Özel, and rally support as the party weathers the government's crackdown on the country's largest protest movement in years. Nearly 2,000 people have been detained in the unrest following the detention of the man who widely considered President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's greatest political challenger, including several hundred students, journalists, and young people. According to Turkish media reports, the authorities are seeking to remove CHP party's leader a year after the opposition's sweeping victory in municipal elections. The party came out on top in the March 2024 municipal elections with nearly 38% of the vote across the country. In addition to maintaining its lead in large cities such as Istanbul and Ankara, the CHP also made inroads into regions previously considered Erdogan's strongholds. Meanwhile, Pope Francis made a surprise public appearance on Sunday, the first time the leader of the Catholic Church has been seen in public since leaving hospital 2 weeks ago. Francis greeted crowds at the Vatican and seemed to be in good spirits. He was seated in a wheelchair and wearing what appeared to be a nasal cannula, aiding his breathing. The 88-year-old pontiff spent 5 weeks in hospital with pneumonia in February and March. According to his medical team, the Pope came close to death during the illness. Frama Pani, NTA News.
And now Bade is in the sports corner for the latest. Hello, Bade.
Many thanks, Ogo. Now, as Nigeria joins the global sports community to celebrate the 2025 International Day of Sports for Development and Peace, Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Sports, Kabiru Amadu, has assured Nigerians that sports will thrive under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The chairman cites the recent return of the National Sports Commission and the increase in budgetary provision for sports are indicative of government's desire to revamp the sector, while urging citizens to recognize the power of sports in fostering positive change, bridging barriers and unifying the country. Amadu expressed confidence that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And to golf now, more than 300 golfers from within and outside Abuja are set to compete for top honors at the Captain's Cup tournament at the IBB International Golf and Country Club in Abuja. Let's see the report.
The Captain's Cup at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja, always signals the end of tenure for the captain. For the past 1 year, Ibrahim Babayo has been at the helm and is set to top what he terms his innumerable achievements by putting up a tournament to remember.
Take a walk and look at how the greens are. They were muddy before. They were like browns, washed down browns. That's one of the first assignments that we tackle head on. We have changed the booking app of the club to a world standard booking app that what players experience when you travel outside this country.
This year's tournament will be played over 6 days from the 7th to 12th of April 2025, featuring amateur ladies, gentlemen and veterans, with the professionals, caddies, invited guests and staff also included. The professional tournament has a purse prize of 5 million naira.
We are very prepared for this tournament that is coming up. So we will
like to invite everyone out there to be part of this event and see what we have been enjoying so far.
Plan is to have, we're looking at about 300 plus participants in this event. The registration so far is looking very good.
The tennis section of the club is also not left out of this year's tournament. And before we go, let's remind you that Nigeria's representatives at the ongoing Africa Women's Volleyball Championship in Abuja, Senate Spikers ladies, rounded off their group fixture today with another loss as they lost to Kenya Prisons 25-22, 25-9, and 25-16. Host Nigeria Customs Service are currently taking on APR of Rwanda in their last game of Pool A. Customs won their first game and lost the second. That does it on Sports Tonight. Let's now return to Ogo. And of course, Claire, and I want to believe you're aware that today is the International Day of Sports for Development and Peace. Did you celebrate in any way?
Of course, I'm very much aware of that.
All right, Abade, yes, International Day of Sports to promote peaceful coexistence among the people. A very worthy one there. Thank you so much. And now on weather forecast, let's get information on what to expect Monday in Nigeria.
You're welcome. In the extreme north, expect clear skies and sunny conditions, perfect for outdoor activities. As we move southward into the central cities, we should expect partly cloudy skies across the region. Down in the south, it's a different story. Mostly cloudy skies is expected, and there's a chance of thunderstorms across parts of Cross River and Akwa Ibom states by morning. As the day progresses, thunderstorms are likely to develop over the central region, including parts of Kogi, Nasarawa, the Federal Capital Territory, some parts of the FCT, and Plateau State. Thunderstorms are also expected along the coastline, extending to parts of Edo Delta, some parts of Bayelsa, Imo, Enugu, Anambra, Ondo, some parts of Ogun, Oyo and Osun states of the southwest. So if you're near the coast and its environs, stay alert and be prepared for some rains. Thank you for watching.